Hey guys, welcome back to my backyard. So it's early May now, and that means mango season is right around the corner. So I want to do another update of my 4 mango trees. I'll start here at my 2-year-old Pickering mango tree. And before I get started, don't judge me on my lawn. It hasn't rained in like months, and I don't irrigate it. I do water my trees though. You can see here, my Sugar Bell Mandarin. Got a nice little green patch of grass around it. But back to my Pickering mango tree. Now, if you saw my recent video, my HOA finally replaced the dreaded ficus hedges with these new clusias, which is great, as I've wanted those ficus gone for years, but the damn landscapers did some damage to this tree when they were pulling out the ficus roots. They scraped up the bark pretty bad over here. And they also knocked over the tree a bit, so I have it kind of propped up with this stake here. Fortunately, I don't see any leaves showing any issues, and there's still mangoes hanging off the side with the damage, so I'm assuming it won't cause any significant long-term damage, which is good. So as you can see here, you have some mangoes that are gonna be ready to pick soon. Beautiful big mango. This is probably like a couple weeks away. And these also are just behind. Got 2 there. Almost on the ground. Now, if you saw my previous videos, I was expecting more. My last video I said I was thinking like 15 to 20 mangoes on this. Right now I have those 3 big ones up front, 2 more hanging off right there. So I got 5 in the front here. Got another one right there, so 6. Another one there, 7. I think got 7 left. It does look like these should all stay on and ripen, I would think. But a good lesson not to count your mangoes until they are ripe. Although now that I see how big and heavy these are, those 2 on the bottom are really pulling the tree down. I don't think there is any way this is going to hold 15 to 20 mangoes. But for a 2-year-old tree, not bad. Definitely takes 7 mangoes on a 2-year-old tree. My Alfonso didn't even produce 1 fruit until it was about 4 years old. So, speaking of the Alfonso, the tree here is looking pretty big and healthy, which is nice. But I think it's going to be a pretty disappointing crop. The first bloom got devoured by powdery mildew, and no fruit is left from those panicles. Fortunately, it did bloom again later and set a nice amount of fruit. Especially there on top. I don't know if you could see it so well with the sun behind the tree. But the mangoes are pretty small so far. They're growing pretty small and slow. There still are quite a few. Look over here. Got a couple big ones up there. And I think there are some other. There's a couple bigger ones. Still pretty small for early May. And you can take a look at what they looked like this time last year. So I'm thinking these will probably be like a July crop. Seeing how small they still are. Assuming they continue to stay on and ripen. I have gotten a bunch that have fallen. But quite a few up there on top. So let's see what happens. I'm not really liking the production of this tree. I'm pretty set on my decision to top work it after this crop. I'm going to cut it back quite a bit. I think this year I'm going to actually cut it all the way back to the trunk and then try to top work it with a new variety. I'll have to see what scions I could get my hands on next year. But I'm looking at either Little Gem or M4 if I could get those scions. See if that grafting will work. So, but it's a very nice looking healthy tree. But a little bit disappointing on the crop. So we'll see what happens there. Then over to my coconut cream mango tree. Now this one was holding on to one fruit for a while, and then just a few days ago it fell. Which is fine, because it shouldn't be holding on to fruit. But it is pushing out some really nice new growth all over. I'm really liking this, and what's cool, it's coming out in the middle of the branches. This branch, that branch. Look at that. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 new branches coming out. Another one. They're coming out, and not just on the middle of the branches, but also on the tips. New growth is popping on all the tips. Got a bunch on there. So that's great to see. In a few weeks, I'm really excited to see what this tree looks like after all these new branches pop out. So that's awesome. Hopefully this grows a good amount over the next 6 months, and maybe it could fruit again next spring. So that's awesome. And then over here to my Honeykiss. Not doing much. Did just put out these new branches a couple months ago. Looking healthy. Nice little tree. Honeykiss is supposed to be similar to Pickering, where it produces big crops at a young age. So maybe next year it'll produce, the same 7 mangoes that my Pickering is producing this year. I think it could. So good to see there. All right, pretty happy with my 3 young trees. Kind of happy, kind of not happy with my Alfonso. But maybe it won't be an Alfonso for much longer. We'll have to see. But definitely looking forward to eating some mangoes in the next couple months. I'm also going to go to my HOA park, pick some mangoes there. So thanks for watching. And I'll do another video when I pick the Pickering there and try it. My first Pickering. So keep up, and thanks for watching. All right, thanks.